irenegraff, and this is my video for machine learning projects program. So here's my opportunity. Lately, what's been going on in the legal community is the use of ChatGPT to help lawyers do research, write memorandums, and also even write and develop motions. There's a lot of excitement in the legal for this because developing legal strategy and doing legal analysis requires a lot of research, a lot of reading, and a lot of correlation between case law and legislation. So ChatGPT seemed like an very exciting solution, and unfortunately, a few lawyers got themselves into a little bit of a hot because ChatGPT being set up against all the content that it's gathered together, some inaccuracies. Noted here is the Washington Post article, lawyers that got fired and fined for using ChatGPT to write their motions. Now, lawyers use a variety of tools. One of them is Westlaw. There are a couple other large databases like that. These are very sophisticated database products that collect all legislation, all updates to legislation and statutes, a lot of thesis and legal secondary source reporting where people are synthesizing legal analysis and legal research together that are highly respected sources, as well as all of case law. And what's interesting about the law community, case law, is that cases come out every day. The reason our judicial system is as interesting as it is because it does respond to the community and to how society moves. So cases that were relevant in the 70s may still be relevant today, or they may be in question, or they may be overturned. The biggest example that we've seen in the last couple of years is Roe versus Wade. A lot of cases after Roe versus Wade was based on that decision, and then when it was that overturned, it then no longer became. So there's an opportunity here to use this model for evaluating whether we can use machine learning and AI capabilities to make this arduous process and a more expedient process for lawyers, because obviously they really desire that. I mean, they sell their time, but the truth is, it's a lot of time to do research. Sometimes when you're under restrict that it costs people that depend on lawyers a lot of money. And so you could, by doing things, so, you could help the whole industry. So we're going to use this model here to determine that. Just looking at the business understanding, the problem obviously is that lawyers are always looking for ways to work more efficiently when it comes to legal research. Why does it matter? We spend a lot of time researching law and case law. The content is very dense textually, with lots of references to other cases, other legislation, other laws, and other secondary sources. Law is very fluid, it changes on a daily basis. So hard to keep up with, at least for any even. So it's a problem that's really well suited for computers. How it's solved today is there's a lot of large databases that are combined together with all these sources with sophisticated search capabilities, a lot of categorization, tagging, types of metadata is associated with all this information, and a lot of that work is actually human generated by other lawyers. The gaps in the process is that the current system relies on how well lawyers can use advanced search capabilities. So how well can I, as a lawyer, be able to use those search capabilities to find what I need to find to be able to analyze my client's situation? It is very difficult. A lot of experience doing this, and it is very challenging, and it's very time consuming. So, would machine learning be the right approach? Yes, I think so, because you have a large volume of data. It's unstructured data, challenging for people. The projected benefit is that these kinds of advancements. You could provide much faster and much more search capabilities for lawyers. Obviously, they'd have to learn some skills to be able to use a chat GPT style search mechanism, but it could be much faster than what they're doing today and a little bit more related to them as humans. Advanced search coding to be able to, and it would also reduce the amount of time they're spending on cases, which then so clients get answers sooner and that reduce overall time. And so that just saves money for everyone. The constraints are trust is the biggest problem. I mean, bad press using OpenAI. Now, when you go on ChatGPT search, a disclaimer comes up telling you, oh, be careful. If you're a law student or a lawyer and you're using tools like that, having to cross-reference them in Westlaw. So basically almost adding extra steps. I'm not sure how much time it saves. The cost of that type of system would be very expensive in terms of processing, because like I said, law changes on a daily basis. It's published on a daily basis. Legislation is published every day. And so with all that new structured data, that has to be fed into the model real-time way so that we're looking at the most recent or the most relevant. What's great about this is that there's a lot of very rich data sources that already exist. They're very well managed, very highly curated. There's a lot of time spent on data quality. They already have categorization and feature selection that they can start leveraging in the beginning. And the process of collecting all that data, cleaning it and massaging it and managing it for those systems already exists. So it's basically that infrastructure and that process, those operational processes are always already in place. So, quality control, and we can manage quality control. We can use the existing systems as comparison and also benchmarks. We evaluate any kind of process. As I mentioned, data preparation, there's a lot of work already going into making sure that those systems have great data. There's really good solid sources. There's a really good place for us to go and actually look at how they're categorizing all that information today to help define the model feature set. And these systems are managed by very experienced lawyers and subject matter experts, so they're going to be able to helpful in the definition and the evaluation. We can also, ask some of our legal customers to help to leverage in the evaluation, especially when we start putting things in production. On model testing, the model selection should be TypeScript good for unstructured data. Baseline statistics can be used from the non-machine learning systems and can be to the new machine learning model in terms of just baseline and exceeding it. All these things should be built on the cloud-based services. Nothing is on the edge here, right? This is all about consolidation of information and dissemination of that to many, many things. And again, the testing measures can be pulled from the existing non-machine learning systems, and we could set up the right kinds of metrics, as well as where we might be able to gather soft feedback from people using the systems, determine that it's efficient, it's accurate, and that it's easy to use. Once it gets deployed, one thing to consider would be using an A/B type approach where you can use the non-machine learning database system and you can use machine learning. So people using both, you'll be able to gather statistics from the results of both of those and then compare them over time to each other to make sure that you're exceeding expectations from machine learning solution versus the non-machine learning. Data quality and accuracy can also be measured by comparing those two, and then also using the customer base that is actively in those systems on a daily basis to provide some feedback. It's important to call out, as I mentioned before, this new data comes in every day. super important for us have access to the most relevant legislation, the most updated laws, the most updated case law. So that will be a challenging thing to be able to do in this system, but certainly achievable. In the long view, one of the things I think that is good about this approach or this particular business opportunity is that we're building off of already successful systems that have strong positive influence in the industry. You have current processes, you have current metrics, you have current benchmarks to be able to measure against. But if you're able to really enhance this, I believe efficiency that they're and allow them to spend more time analyzing problems versus researching problems, as well as reducing overall costs. Industry as a whole. Okay, that's my presentation. I love this program. I love this whole series of classes. It's been fantastic and